A Gentle Summer Adult Bedtime Reflections, written and read by the author, Kara Jones. Dear Diary, I can hardly believe it. There are only 3 more days of school left, and summer is practically knocking on the door. Each year around this time, I get that bubbly, excited feeling in my stomach as if I'm standing right at the edge of an adventure I've never embarked upon before. But this year, something feels different. There's a quiet resolve forming in my heart. I want more than just another scattered, stressful, and unmemorable few months. I want an intentional summer, one that breathes life and rejuvenation into our family. It's a Tuesday evening, and as I sit down to write, the house is calm. My youngest child, Zoe, is asleep. My teenager is off in his own world, reading something about home buying or real estate on his phone. It's been his latest obsession. I love these moments when the soft hum of the refrigerator is the loudest sound in the house, and the overhead lights are dimmed low. Everything feels still, as though the day itself is winding down, whispering for me to gather my thoughts on paper. Tonight I'm leaning into that sense of peace, pen in hand, determined to capture all these ideas swirling in my mind. After all, if I've learned anything from past summers, it's that time rushes forward so quickly. If I'm not careful, the days will slip by like a blur. One day I'll think, oh, we should go to the zoo, or it'd be nice to check out that new water park. But then the weeks melt away before I manage to make it happen. This year, I've made a promise to myself: no more letting summer breeze pass without truly experiencing it. I begin by pulling out my favorite planner, a simple spiral-bound notebook with wide open spaces for each day. I've never been too strict about scheduling. Usually I'd rely on a mental to-do list or random phone reminders. But I've realized that if I don't see it written down, I might not hold myself accountable. So I started blocking out days, sprinkling fun activities between the usual chores and errands that fill our lives. Water park on Wednesday, zoo trip next Tuesday, a library day for reading hour, maybe a Saturday spent at the local farmer's market. The goal isn't to cram every day so full that we have no downtime. On the contrary, I want to create a sense of gentle structure, one that allows for spontaneity and excitement, but ensures we don't lose track of the season's potential. I noticed an immediate shift in my mindset once I wrote these plans. Even if some days end up different from what I've scheduled, just knowing that I have these possibilities lined up makes me feel lighter, less anxious. It gives me confidence to look ahead, especially as I juggle my own work and personal goals. Whenever I try to plan for an entire season, I tend to worry that I won't live up to my expectations. That's usually when the stress creeps in. I think of half-finished projects, the trips we never took, or the backyard garden I intended to start but never did. But this time, I'm approaching it with gentleness. If we only visit half the places on my list, that's more than if I had no plan at all. I've also been consciously seeking out low-cost or free events in our community. It's incredible how much joy you can find within outspending a fortune. Nature walks, crafts in the park, free kids' days at certain museums. The local library near us often has puppet shows, cooking demonstrations, and fun reading challenges for children. My daughter is especially eager to read about anything to do with painting or performance as well. She's got this vivacious spirit, She'll jump at the chance to dance, sing, or try something new. I want to encourage that spark in her. Childhood is so fleeting. One moment they're stumbling around in toddler shoes, the next they're speaking about real estate deals. My teenager is proof of that, and while it might seem odd to sign him up for a workshop about flipping houses, I figure why not? If it captures his curiosity, it could lead to something special. Let him explore. Let him see the broader world beyond high school hallways. We all have to start somewhere. To keep track of costs, I'm making a little spreadsheet. Nothing fancy, just a list of upcoming activities, any associated fees, and how I might get discounts like Groupon deals or library passes. It's surprisingly satisfying to discover how many things we can do that cost very little. There's a wonderful sense of resourcefulness in digging up hidden gem activities, like a local farm that allows children to feed the goats for the price of a small bag of feed. That memory of laughter and adorable goats is priceless compared to the couple of dollars we'll spend. Sometimes I keep returning to in my head is yoga. It has hovered on the fringe of my life for ages, mostly as a fleeting thought like, I should give yoga a try someday. I've dabbled a bit, done a few videos online, tried a local class once with a friend, but now I feel a deeper pull as though I'm ready to commit. Not for some rigorous regimen, but to be gentle, to stretch, for a mindful practice. I can almost imagine an early summer morning, the sun just peeking over the horizon, illuminating a thin layer of dew on the grass. I roll out my mat in the backyard or living room. The air still has a slight chill, so I wear a light sweater. And in that quiet softness, I stretch and breathe, welcoming the day with calm intention. Even the mental image feels comforting. It might help with my back pain, sure, but also I sense that yoga might be a key to unlocking mental clarity. When life goes 100 miles an hour and I'm caught between errands, kids' needs, and my own ambitions, having that half hour of slow, intentional movement feels like the greatest gift I can give myself. I'm thinking about inviting the kids to join me sometimes, if they're willing, of course. Zoe might enjoy a few playful poses. My teenager may roll his eyes at first, but maybe he'll give it a try if I frame it as a mental break benefit. We'll see. If anything, I'll be consistent at practicing, but I love the idea of yoga becoming a small family ritual. Or at least, very least, something I can do in the same house while they quietly do their morning routines. We also have an actual backyard project in mind. Nothing big like a chicken coop yet, but maybe a few raised garden beds or a nook for reading outside. I've seen pictures online of cozy hammocks strung between wooden posts, with fairy lights twinkling overhead. Imagine reading a book there in the evening, with the sun setting beyond the fence, painting the sky all kinds of fairy orange and pink. That's the vibe I'm chasing, serene. Simple spaces that encourage us to slow down. In the past, I might have found myself too busy or too stressed to tackle something like this. Summer would pass by in a blur, and I'd glance at the yard in September thinking I wish I had done something sooner. But this year, I'm giving that desire the time and intention it deserves. Even if it's just pulling weeds with the kids or planting a handful of flowers. We're making progress. We'll have some tangible to look at, a personal stamp on the season. One day I'd love to do a small painting workshop right in the backyard. Maybe we'll invite some friends over, lay out old newspapers and blank canvases, and paint under the shade of the big oak tree. The kids can create whatever colorful masterpiece they want. No rules or fear of messing up. There's something liberating about painting with no agenda, letting color flow freely. That kind of carefree creativity is exactly the energy I want to cultivate. Of course, as I map out these plans, a little whisper of fear creeps in. What if I don't follow through? What if life gets complicated and everything falls apart? I feel that tension between excitement and doubt, but I'm trying my best to feed faith instead of fear. I think of it like a delicate balance. If I invest more energy in believing this summer can be extraordinary, that sense of belief just might become a self fulfilling prophecy. Faith is such a powerful word. It's not just about religion, though certainly prayer and spiritual reflection can guide me. It's about trusting that I have the ability and the worthiness within the Creator, within me, through me, to create joyful experiences. It's about trusting that even if something doesn't go according to plan, I'll adapt. Maybe the water park days get rained out, but a movie night at home with homemade popcorn can be just as delightful. I remember a quote from a favorite book: doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. That rings in my ears whenever I'm worried about not meeting my summer goals. Doubt can paralyze me into inaction, making me so afraid of failing that I never begin. Faith, on the other hand, says, go ahead, try, see what might unfold. I find that comforting, even if every plan isn't perfect. Each attempt is a chance to learn and grow. Part of this summer's intentionality is about stepping back and letting my children's interests guide me. I'm so used to being the planner, the one who decides what's good for them, that sometimes I forget to ask, what do you want to explore? Zoe, my youngest, has been singing nearly every day. She'll hum a tune in the car, belt out a song while helping me with dishes. I notice how alive she seems, how her eyes sparkle when she's performing, even in the simplest ways. So I asked if she might like to join a local kids' choir, or maybe do a little musical theater workshop. She lit up at the idea, so that's now on the calendar. Even if it's just a small group that meets once a week, I suspect it'll be a highlight of her summer. My teenager's real estate fixation is a bit more puzzling, but also intriguing. He started watching home renovation shows on TV, then fell down a YouTube rabbit hole of flipping houses, analyzing market trends, and touring fancy properties. I'm not sure where it will go, but I do know that encouraging his curiosity is important. Maybe I'll take him to a real estate open house, just to observe, or we could check out some architecture books from the library. I see it as an opportunity for him to glimpse a grown up skill set, even if it's just from the fringes. Who knows what spark that could ignite down the road? And along the way, as I tune into their passions, I realize how it takes the pressure off of me to orchestrate every moment. Summer isn't just about me creating a perfect schedule for them. It's a dance, a give and take. They tell me what excites them, I incorporate it into the plan, and we learn together. I love that sense of collaboration. It feels more like an adventure we're all choosing, rather than something I'm imposing. One thing I'm deeply committed to is being present. It's a concept I used to struggle with. My brain is always racing, thinking about tomorrow's tasks, next week errands, next month's bills. But presence means allowing myself to be fully immersed in the moment, whether I'm pushing my daughter on a swing, reading a story with her at night, or simply sitting with my teenager, listening to him rattle off real estate facts. Sometimes presence means pausing my own internal chatter. I found that journaling helps. When I write out my worries or to-do lists, I'm better at setting them aside, even if just for an hour. Then I can focus on that board game Zoe's pulling me into, or that conversation about my mortgage rates my son is trying to have. It's not easy to be quiet, the background noise of responsibilities, but I'm learning it's worth the effort. Summer especially calls us to slow down and just be. Just be with the sunshine, with our families, with our fleeting moments of laughter. To support this habit, I'm experimenting with small bursts of mindfulness throughout the day. Maybe after breakfast, I'll sit for 5 minutes, just 5, and focus on my breathing. Or if we go for a small walk, I'll purposefully leave my phone behind, so I'm not tempted by notifications. It's such a small switch, but I've noticed how it changes the whole mood. I know that no matter how carefully I plan, some days will unravel. Sickness might strike, work emergencies can pop up. Maybe one of my kids will have a meltdown over something unexpected, but that's okay. Summer isn't about perfection, it's about flexibility and resilience. If I greet those hiccups with grace instead of panic, we'll navigate them more smoothly. I'm also giving myself permission to rest. Sometimes we think summer should be a constant flurry of activity, but I've learned that lazy mornings in pajamas, sipping coffee while the kids sleep in, can be just as vital to our well-being as a jam-packed day at the water park. Intentionality doesn't mean scheduling every minute. It means choosing what matters most at any given time. If that means a restful day with nowhere to go, so be it. Maybe I'll incorporate a do nothing day into the schedule once a week if possible. A day where I don't hold myself to any extracurricular obligations or errands. A day for reading, napping, or doodling in a sketch pad. Perhaps that's the day we spontaneously decide to bake cookies or watch old movies. The point is that rest and play can be just as intentional as big outings. With each passing day, my excitement builds. My children sense it too. They keep asking which water park we're going to, or if they can invite friends to join. I can see the school year fatigue lifting from their shoulders as they think about all that free time. I remember being a kid, desperately waiting for the last bell to ring so I could run out into warm sunshine. No homework burden. It's nostalgic to see them living that same feeling. I also reflect on how limited these summers are. It feels like just yesterday my teenager was Zoe's age. Now he's nearly grown. Each warm season is precious. It's a chance to connect with them, watch them discover new passions, and share quiet, meaningful moments that no one else sees. That fleeting nature of childhood is what propels me to be more intentional. If I blink, it'll be over. So, yes, I'll embrace the nerves, butterflies in my stomach. I'll greet them with a smile, telling them I see you, I know you're there, but I'm not letting fear drive this bus. In fact, I'm letting faith do the steering. Faith that this will be a summer of laughter, learning, and closeness. Faith that when August rolls around, I'll be looking back with a grateful heart, no regrets. The house has grown even quieter now. My dog is curled up at my feet, softly breathing. Outside, the moon is bright enough to cast a gentle glow across the yard. Tomorrow morning will be one day closer to summer break, one day closer to fresh adventures and sunlit mornings. I'll whisper a little prayer of gratitude before I sleep. Thank you for the chance to start anew, to be purposeful with my time, to love my children well this season. I'm already imagining the smell of sunscreen, the splash of water at the pool, and the squeals of excitement in the back seat when I say, "Surprise! We're going to the zoo today." For now, though, it's time to rest, to let my mind wander dreamily through the visions of summer I've penned here in these diary pages. Sometimes before a big trip or new endeavor, I can hardly sleep from excitement. But tonight, it's a calm excitement. I feel safe in the knowledge that I have a plan, yet I'm holding it gently, ready to bend and flow when life tosses us a curveball. I'll close my eyes soon, but not without this final reflection. Intention is an incredible force. It takes what might be a string of random days and turns them into a tapestry of meaning. Just scribbling these plans and hopes has lifted my spirits, reminding me I'm capable of shaping our summer in a positive way. Tomorrow, I'll wake up and go through the usual routine: breakfast, school drop off, chores, but underneath it all, I'll carry the sweet knowledge that a magical season is about to begin. Thank you, dear diary, for being my companion in this. Sometimes all it takes is articulating our dreams on paper or screen to make them feel real. With each word, I'm pledging to embrace an intentional summer filled with discovery, rest, structure, and spontaneity. And I'm brimming with anticipation for all that awaits me, my children, and the warm sunshine ready to wrap us up in its gentle rays. So here's to the start of something wonderful. May the upcoming days be kind and fulfilling. May we find laughter in unexpected moments. May yoga sessions calm my mind. May the kids find joy in their pursuits. And may we see life through renewed eyes, soaking up every drop of what summer has to offer. Good night, dear diary, and thank you for holding my dreams safe. I can't wait to see how they blossom in the days and weeks ahead.